everyone, it is great to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. Tonight we are going to be making healthy yogurt cake. That sounds really tasty, right? The reason I'm making this is not because I would think, hey, I want a healthy yogurt cake. No, the reason I'm making it is because I have yogurt I need to use up. Not because I would think of yogurt and cake in the same sentence. Not in the least. So, mine is going to be somewhat healthy. On the topping it says you can use a jam glaze. Nah. I am going to use a confectioner's sugar glaze. But anyway, if we want to keep it healthy, probably should use the jam glaze in your household, not mine. So what you're going to need for this recipe is 1 cup of plain yogurt. Well, mine has vanilla in it. I'm going to use it. A little hint of vanilla is not going to change anything. I hope not anyway. 2 leveled cups of all-purpose flour. 1/2 cup of white sugar. 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I am just about out of vegetable oil, so I am going to use a little canola oil too. And don't fill it, don't go overboard. She says a scant cup. I'm assuming she means maybe not quite full. 2 eggs at room temperature. My eggs were not at room temperature, but they probably are now since I put them in lukewarm water for a few minutes. 2 teaspoons baking powder. She has here 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla essence. I never use a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla essence because I don't use vanilla essence. So I am going to be using about half of that, which would be 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then it says 1 to 2 lemon zests. I'm not going to be using lemon zest, so I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon juice in there, maybe about a tablespoon. And that's all, and then a pinch of salt. That's what we're going to need. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're going to want to either line a loaf pan 9 by 5 with parchment paper. It's kind of hard to get it down in there. You'd have to cut a little bit to make it stay. Or you can just spray some cooking oil on it. That's what I did. Okay, first what they want us to do is mix eggs, sugar, then add oil, lemon zest, vanilla, and mix again. So first, let's go ahead and get our eggs, which is 2 eggs at room temperature. Does anyone know why you would use eggs at room temperature versus refrigerated eggs? I'll put it up on the screen. I have no idea at this moment because I am not, you know, a chef in any way, shape, or form. I'm just somebody in the kitchen trying to figure out some recipes. So I'll put it up on the screen. Why room temperature eggs versus cold right out of the fridge. I had a full cup of sugar measured out. It's only half. That's why it's always important to double check the recipe. A lot of times I read through it so fast I don't really focus on it. Not good, not good. Okay, so let's put the sugar in there. We'll mix that together. Then we're going to add the oil, which again she says is a scant 1/2 cup. So scant, I can use this here. I'm going to use up the rest of my veggie oil. Then we're going to switch to canola. Well, heckaroonies, this is a scant. It's not quite up to the top. I'm just going to go like that. Good enough. We're going to add the lemon zest, which I'm going to use a tablespoon of real lemon juice, which says it's equivalent to, like if I squeezed it. I guess that's still good. I don't know, how long does lemon juice stay good for once it's opened? Well, that's a good question. Might have just boogered up my recipe. Real lemon, unlike fresh squeezed lemon juice, will stay good to 6 to 12 months once it's opened. Oh, good. It says kind of go by the date, which says here, best by 4/21 of 22. So we're good. See, there's a reason I'm using fake lemon juice. Gonna mix that around. And let's see. We've got our oil, our lemon zest. Now we need to do our vanilla essence. If you have essence in your home, use 1/2 teaspoon. I am going to use 1/4 teaspoon. since mine is extract and will be more potent. Next, we need to add the yogurt, which is 1 cup of plain yogurt. So let's mix that around till it's nice and smooth. I can't find my other big whisk, so I'll use the baby one. So whisk flour, which is 2 leveled cups of all-purpose. Okay, so we're going to level out the flour, just like you learned in home ec class. Do they have home ec anymore in classrooms? Or is that a thing of the past? I used to love home ec. All right. My goodness, I just noticed my tin is clean. I had grease and flour and all kinds of crud all over it. I do believe Doug scrubbed this, and I'll tell you what, Doug doesn't normally clean the house, but when he cleans, he scrubs. That man can scrub. If you want somebody to clean something good, just ask Doug. Okay, let's get back to food here. Baking powder and a pinch of salt together. Pinch, I'm going to use maybe a 1/16 of a teaspoon. And the baking powder is 2 teaspoons. Do I hear a child's voice?
That is recording.
I'm almost done. I'm going to go walk in here in a minute. Hey, did you scrub this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, does that ever look good? Pap scrubbed this for me. Before, remember how cruddy it was? Do you remember seeing it? It had crud all over it from like years of crap. Excellent.
I didn't know whether you'd ever notice.
Oh, I did now. When I was getting the recipe, first I didn't notice. I grabbed it and I looked, and then I stood there for a little bit, and I'm thinking, wow, is that clean? And we'll whisk that together. And then we're going to add it to the other mixture. A cross between a thick cake batter and cookie dough. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put it in the loaf pan. Make sure it's mixed up good. And if I like this, I'm going to use the rest of the yogurt and make another one, because great thing is you can freeze this stuff. Then you're going to want to bake it for about 35 to 40 minutes. And then you can just check it with a toothpick, make sure that it comes out clean. And voila, off to the oven it goes. Now would be the time to put the glaze on top. I just took that out of the oven. It was in the oven for 40 minutes. Mine took 40 minutes instead of 35. So if you want to, just warm up your favorite jam on the stove top. And then if you think it's too thick, just add a little warm water, mix it up, and then brush it on. But I am going to do a powdered sugar glaze. So let me see. I decided I'm going to try to keep this as low calorie as possible. So I will do a 1/2 cup of confectioner's sugar, which is about 220 calories. So divide that by 8, because this is supposed to be 8 servings. You add about 25 calories, am I right? Okay, let's see. So next I'm going to add a tablespoon of water or milk. I'm going to do water. There again, trying to keep the calorie count down. And just a little bit of vanilla, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then I will mix that together. Hey there, bud. What are you and Pap doing now?
We're doing fireworks. We did ones that go, they blow stuff like, and then they go, one when spark, it almost filled up the whole concrete.
Oh my gosh. Are they dangerous, do you think?
Yeah.
They are. That's why Pap has to be out there with you, huh? Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of light glaze on top.
What are you making?
I am going to make, well, I'm making healthy yogurt cake with a little bit of light glaze.
I want some ice cream.
Okay. You can either do, they said fruit glaze. What's fruit glaze on top, right?
It's got to be sugar.
It's got to be sugar, but I don't have a lot here.
Wait.
All right. So we'll let that cool. And I'm going to test it here in a little bit to see if I want to make another one. So here's what the end product is. We'll let it cool in the rack. We'll let that sugar glaze kind of go down through, give it a little extra flavor, and I'll be back in a little bit and we'll taste it. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of here, see if it comes out pretty easily. Yep, cooking spray worked good. I have another one in the oven. I'm gonna trust that I'm gonna like it. There again, I'm just gonna have a little slither while it is warm. So I'm just gonna take a little baby piece off the end. Not bad. Has a good texture to it. The powdered sugar glaze was the right choice. Cut this into the size of the pieces you like once it's totally cooled. Wrap it up in saran wrap, then put it in freezer bags, and it'll stay good in the freezer for a month. Now, you are not to refrigerate this. If you want to keep this out, you will want to keep it on the counter, covered up in an airtight container for 3 to 4 days. It says here that the refrigerator will dry it out. I don't know why, but apparently it does. So thanks for joining me here once again on Dee's Delights, and I hope you have a fabulous week, everyone. See you soon.